Lina Blair. I'm the Director of Student Life and Conduct, and wanted to take a minute again to thank all of you for attending, but also thank all of the people who make this thing go. It takes a lot of people on campus, from administration, from the folks who have to approve all of your org sync requests when you're planning events, and approve requests to fundraise or anything like that. Your student organization advisors, faculty and staff to support and encourage you to join these groups, to campus dining, to Taylor and the IT crew and the media crew, that kind of thing. So I think it's important that we recognize those folks because it wouldn't happen if we had all of those people. So if you could give everyone a round of applause for that, that'd be cool. And speaking of media, as in years past, we have a brief student involvement tribute video to share with you. We're going to do that first tonight. It was produced by Class Quant and Taylor Bowens. Taylor's in the back running the show tonight. They're from the media department, so again, can we thank Taylor and Class, and we'll get that video started.
Y'all gotta do better on the noise. These performers are scared. Let me hear some noise. Let me hear some noise. Yes! Oh! Stop that! Oh! It's gonna fall. Oh, that's it.
How do I burn this? It melts you out.
Good. How are you?
Good. Actually, I'm kind of awake. I don't know why.
Hey, nothing wrong with it.
Right.
She said, I'm going to be like you. Be that one friend.
I would like to introduce our keynote speaker, Denavvia Mojet. Denavvia is a local community organizer, activist, media personality, and political consultant. Named one of 2017's Women Running the City of Grand Rapids, and most recently declared a finalist for a West Michigan Woman Magazine Brilliance Award, Denavvia has emerged as a leader throughout the region as a powerful advocate for marginalized students and voice for Greater Grand Rapids urban listeners as a host of Political Posts with Denavvia Mojet on 97.3 The Beat FM radio. Denavvia was born and raised in Benton Harbor, Michigan, but was adopted by Grand Rapids in 2012. When she started her journey as an international relations / political science student at Grand Rapids Community College. Denavvia served as president of the GRCC Foreign Affairs Club and worked as a student ambassador, enrollment center clerk, and student life receptionist before going on to graduate and continue her education at Grand Valley State University. Denavvia worked for Downtown Grand Rapids, Inc. on tax increment finance reporting, managed campaigns for offices from State House to Congress, and mobilized thousands of residents as strategic communications coordinator for Link Up Community Revitalization. Today, Denavvia is a mother, a consultant, currently working for multiple competitive political campaigns, a director on board of several local nonprofits, a regional media maven working to educate the masses and eliminate inequities for present and future generations.
All right, let me start my time here. Don't want to go over. I know Kel has quite a program planned for you guys. Like the bio said, I'm Denavvia Mojet. I am really, really excited to be here today. I'm going to be honest, I'm really humbled and even a little bit surprised, right? Because when I graduated from GRCC, I'm going to be honest, there were some professors that looked pretty excited to see me go. They had this look of like relief on their face when I walked up to them, my cap and gown, like, I did it. They're like, yes, you did. And so when you get that call or that email, like, we would love for you to come back. It's like, oh, really? You miss me now. But I loved my time at GRCC. I was one of those students who kind of did a whole lot of everything, if you can't tell from the bio. I was like a lot of you in this room. I did the clubs. I was the student employee. I was telling them at my table, I moved to Grand Rapids not knowing anybody. And I had just paid for my first semester at GRCC, and I was going to figure out what I was going to do with my life. And so GRCC was not just my school, it became my community, right? When I had a flat tire, I called like Andre Fields and Chris Sane to come help me. And when I did not have lunch, Molly Massa would give me food to go to the Raider Grill to eat while I was working at Student Life. Or even better, she'd put ramen noodles in my locker and make sure I knew they were in there. And so GRCC wasn't just the place that I got my education, but it truly jump-started me to getting to the place where I am today, where, like she said, I'm up for these like random awards in Grand Rapids. It's the kind of city where they give awards for everything all the time. So if you're at this level in your life, prepare to do this forever if you're gonna stay here. It's fun sometimes, and other times it's a little overwhelming. But it just means a lot to me to be here today. I really struggled to see how I would have gotten to the point where I am right now in my career without GRCC. And I started to think about this when I was asked to give a keynote address, because I thought to myself, you know, more specifically, what did GRCC do for me? And I started to think about all the relationships that I had because of GRCC, all the opportunities that I got because of GRCC, or indirectly because of someone that I met while going to school at GRCC. I cannot see the screen, so I'm just gonna be blindly clicking. You let me know if something doesn't make sense that's up there, because I have no idea what it says. But going to GRCC, I know it sounds crazy, but I came here just to take classes and kind of figure out what I wanted to do with my life. And while I was here at GRCC, I met like President Jimmy Carter, right? The 39th President of the United States. Like, whoa. Right? And I know you guys are presidents too, so you're like, hey, I run my club, nothing. No, but you know, being at GRCC was a major door opener for me, right? Like I was so excited, right? Because I had told all my family that I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with school and what I was gonna study. And the next thing you know, I post on Facebook, me and President Jimmy Carter, and you know, mommy's baby made it, right? So experiences like those were huge door openers. And when I think back about some of the most integral relationships that I have in my life now, a lot of them came from experiences that I had at GRCC. So for example, I'm 24 now, and I love being a part of this group in Grand Rapids. It's called the West Michigan Research Network. They are so totally the cool kids. It's a nerdy name, but I promise you everyone's a mover and shaker in this club. And when I first got into the invite to the West Michigan Research Network, I was sitting in a Big B downtown, and these two gentlemen were having a conversation that did not include me. Don't worry, I included myself. And I just kind of let them know they were talking about how there need to be more people who cared about the data and who did the research, blah, 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 blah. And I told them, you know, I really am not an expert in research, but I would love to learn a little bit more about it. And I have a lot of time on my hands, and I kind of dropped that I work for Downtown Grand Rapids, Inc., and I do the tax increment financing plan. And they're like, oh, okay. And I'm like, and I'm already registered with the U.S. National Archives and Records Administration as a researcher. And they're like, what? I was like, yeah, while I was at GRCC, my professor drove me to the Presidential Library over in Ann Arbor, and I got registered with NARA right on site so I could go over documents in the president's handwriting for my foreign affairs paper. And so I'm already registered with NARA, and I've learned a lot about research, and I'm interested to do more. And they both gave me their business cards immediately, right? So it's an exciting thing, because when I wrote about this, I didn't know that Dr. Hendershot, the professor who drove me to Ann Arbor, was gonna be in the room. When I came back to GRCC and went to go bug him, they were like, oh, he's on sabbatical. So it's cool that like today I get to tell this story and he be in the room, because I remember when I would talk about the paper I wanted to write and the foreign affairs philosophies that I had, he connected the dot that I'll drive you guys over to the Presidential Library. So for everyone doing a paper on this time period, you guys can learn for yourselves, and you can look and see Nixon's handwriting and Jerry Ford's handwriting, and you can help inform your paper that way. I didn't know at the time that Dr. Hendershot taking me to the Presidential Library was going to open a door with the West Michigan Research Network. And that because of the people I met through the West Michigan Research Network, when I went back to work at DGRI and went to try and learn more about how we were going to develop a master plan for downtown Grand Rapids, I would be one of the people with the data to do it. And that's insane, because sometimes we're just like, networking hardcore, right? You just want to get business cards because it makes you feel like a grown-up at times, and you have no idea how these people are going to connect and create opportunities and open doors for you. But GRCC was one of those cultivating grounds for me. And I realized that I got on a lot of people's nerves while I was on campus, because I was always trying to connect, right? Keith St. Clair was my professor in poli-sci, and I remember like always staying after class, because he was also my advisor for Foreign Affairs Club. Do we still have a Foreign Affairs Club at GRCC? Oh, they're the cool kids. Okay, good to know. Good to know. And I would be like, I know we always do these 2 conferences, but I want to do a 3rd conference this year. I would like us to go back to do this. And he'd just be like, where are we going to find funding for this? I'm like, I'm going to raise the money. We're going to do it. Mind you, our club had like 6 people. But I just was so interested in everything that everyone around me had to offer. And at the time, it felt like I was just being a little bit extra. We all have that one friend that we call extra. I know I'm not the only one. Okay, I see some head nods. So some of you get called extra. He's like, he had an extra hand wave. Like his hand wave was extra. So good to know I'm not alone here. But, I realized that sometimes being that person who's not afraid to ask for that business card in a normal conversation, in a coffee shop, to connect with their professor, to do that extra project or that extra trip, or to be in that club that goes to the extra conference and do the extra fundraiser. It seems pretty cheesy at sometimes, but I'm telling you from where I stand now, all of those moments made the difference for me. I found out this morning when I woke up because one of my girlfriends texted me and she's like, the Rapidian dropped that article again this year on the women running the city. Girl, this year you got a picture. And, some years they just list the names of like good people in good positions, and this year apparently I had a picture in it. And I'm like, oh, well, good for me, I made it, yay, right? But the only reason why those experiences happen today is because of all the times where I uncomfortably went the extra mile when I was at GRCC, when I was in my community. And so I encourage all of you, as you kind of embark on your journeys as leaders and as, this isn't working, but as leaders and as people who have the potential to make a difference on this campus, to not be afraid to go that extra mile. And to be extraordinary, right? When someone tells you, be extraordinary, it sounds really cheesy, I know. It's like I'm telling you to go be a superhero and put on a cape. But really all I'm telling you to do is to listen to what's happening around you and challenge yourself to make a difference, right? It sounds like something that's so deceptively simple, but it's hard sometimes because you really just want to fit in. Everything about society today teaches us that our comfort zone and what our friends think is cool and what everyone is doing around us is exactly what we should do and exactly who we should be almost all the time, right? You check Twitter to find out what to wear and how to act. I check Twitter to see the president's tweets, don't judge me. But we all have these ways of trying to reaffirm who we are with everything around us instead of just being whoever it is that we want to be and being willing to go all in. And so I thought about what I would want to hear if I was sitting at the table at the Leadership Banquet when I was at GRCC. And I realized that if someone just had reminded me, didn't give me some secret sauce, I know I've heard a lot of keynote speakers, and I think they all try to outdo each other by giving the secret sauce or some great statistics. I didn't come to bore you with great statistics, but to just tell you simply to be unafraid, to be courageous, and to be extraordinary. If you landed in this room, that means you ventured into that space already. You decided to be a leader in your club, in your classroom, or some professor noticed you and just begged you to keep the club alive. However you got here today, you ventured into this space and you have the power to do something with it, right? And so if you decide after this event that you're willing to be extraordinary and you're willing to know your power, as a change maker in your club, as a change maker on your campus, you guys can really make so much of a difference, not just in GRCC, but in the world around you. And I'm so very aware of how many cliches I'm dropping right now. I'm heavy on cliches, I get it. But I'm being honest, when I think about the things that make a difference, it's not a bunch of high-tech and complicated stuff, right? A lot of times, we don't need a bunch of one-liners that really brilliant and intelligent people before us said. Sometimes we just need to be reminded to be ourselves and that where we are is perfect for where we want to go. And right now you're at GRCC, and the people that I've met at GRCC and the doors that have opened for me because I was a student at GRCC have gotten me to extraordinary places. I've also met President Bill Clinton. And I know if it blows my mom away to meet one president, just imagine what it blew, like I met two. And she was just like, okay, I have nothing left to say. She did later have something else to say, but I just want to know in that moment. Because I realized that I just had to make a difference wherever I was, right? Sometimes we look at other kids we graduated with and we're like, well, they're at this school or in this city, and you don't really recognize how you could be making the most of where you are right now. Everyone around you has some type of power. whether you realize it or not. You have power. Everyone around you at your table has the power, whether it's just making posts, whether it's showing up for something that you care about. This is a time where change is happening so fast. I mean, it's happening so fast. An event can happen on Monday and the world can be ready to change on Friday. And things are speeding up and you really have no idea how to predict sometimes the impact that you can make. And you never would know unless you just decided to start. On my radio show, I brought this girl. Her name was Katie Fahy. She's the president of this group called Voters Not Politicians, and I won't get political because I don't take stances. But she told me, when I started this movement for gerrymandering, I had no idea that I would get thousands of people inboxing me, telling me that they wanted to help to work on this issue. I just made a Facebook post because I was upset. And I said, this is how it should be. And then somehow it went viral. And then somehow thousands of people were inboxing me like, well, what's next? And I said, okay, let's make a Facebook group. And so you guys can stop like clogging up my inbox. And then later, you know, we're being covered in every major media market about what's happening in Michigan. Movements are not these magical things that are always strategically thought up. Sometimes they happen on napkins. Sometimes they happen on accident. And sometimes all it takes is for you to know that there's validity in your voice and in your experience and for you to do something about it. I challenge every single one of you to know your power, to not think you have to get to another chapter, that after commencement, once you graduate, then you'll make a difference, or then once you get to that school, or once you get to that job, or once you accomplish this, then you'll turn around and blank. You can start right now. And so I want you all to do that and endeavor to do that. But as you do, a lot of times using your power just stems from this willingness to use your voice, right? Can you raise your hand if you're graduating this year? Give it up for the seniors, y'all. This is to all of you who are transitioning, right? Because transition can be scary. We all get to these places in our lives where whether we're changing jobs or we're changing cities or moving neighborhoods, where it gets a little bit terrifying because you're unsure about how things are gonna go. As you transition into whatever that next school is, whatever that next place is, don't forget that as you go and as you maneuver and as you transition, everything that you've been given, whether it's at GRCC, whether it's at your high school, and you may hate your high school and be like, I got the worst education. I've actually met people who felt that way. Like my best friend used to be like, man, I got the worst education ever at Ben Harbor. But in truth, everything that you need to succeed, you probably have in your toolkit right now. And a lot of people who've done extraordinary things are just really basic individuals. This is what I've learned from thousands of interviews with random successful people. They're like, oh, Obama appointed me to this great position. I'll come on your show to talk about it. And they're just really, really ordinary people. And don't tell them I said this, because they think they're very interesting. But they are really, really normal people, right? And all it took was them to decide that their voice was valid, their experience was valid, that they could make a difference, and then they started using their voice. Wherever they went, they didn't decide that a transition would make them doubt themselves and what they had. They knew that they were enough. And so because you're student leaders at GRCC, I want you to know that however you got here, however it landed you here, you are absolutely, completely, and totally enough. And so I want to congratulate you on this moment because this is a celebration. We have people at my table even that are being nominated for awards, which means you guys are extraordinary, which means you guys are already great, which means you guys are going to do fantastic things because fantastic things are already happening all around you. And it's really up to you guys how it goes from here. So congratulations on all that you guys have done to get into this room today. And thank you for listening to me and even laughing at a few of my really corny jokes.
Oof. Now that is a tough act to follow. I am so pleased to begin our awards program at this time. So for the first award of the evening, I'm going to have to invite Greg Forbes up to the podium next to me. And he's professor in the Biological Science Department who will be presenting the Outstanding Biology Student of the Year Award. Thank you. Yep, it is all yours.
How long? 2 minutes? 25 minutes? 30 minutes?
All you need is an audience. Is a microphone.
Thank you very much. I want to present for you tonight, if I can, shortly, a modification of Charles Dickens's Tale of Two Cities. We're going to talk about A Tale of Two Students. First of all, can you folks in the cheap seats hear me? Are we good back there? Yeah, excellent. I want to tell you two young men's stories. The first one begins in Shrewsbury, England, where this young man was sent to the finest school in England, which was Shrewsbury Grammar School. And the family paid for this young man to go to the school at great cost, but he didn't find it very entertaining from his 9th year through his 16th birthday, because he was told to study Greek. He was told to study Roman languages and Latin languages and grammar and English, and he found no value in that, found no interest in that. He discovered on his own Shakespeare and Byron, but because he wasn't performing at school, his teachers labeled him a slow boy. At his 16th birthday, his family took him out of Shrewsbury School, thinking, what are we going to do with this boy? What are we going to do? So they forced him to work in his father's medical practice during the summer. And then his father was so concerned that he was going to become, quote, an idle boy, and that if he continued carrying on this way, he would be a disgrace to himself and to his family. So what do you do with an idle boy? You send him to medical school. So at 16 years old, he was sent to the medical school at Edinburgh in Scotland, where he found, again, no interest in medical school. In fact, he was considered by his professors to be a boy who was likely to go astray and without direction, and to be a student with scarce to average ability. So he quit medical school in his 2nd year, returned to his father, and his father said, if you do not change your ways, you shall become an idle gentleman. You care for nothing but shooting, dogs, and rat catching, and that you shall be a disgrace to yourself and to all of your family. There's a how do you do. This young man, this student, was Charles Darwin. And contrary to all of those who saw no value in him, saw no aptitude in him, no success with him, clearly he excelled and has forever changed the world in the way that we see it. Let me tell you a tale of a second student who also, like Darwin, was a young man, found no interest in school. And it was thought to be his teachers probably to lack aptitude and his motivation to succeed, and was also probably considered by his teachers also likely to be a slow and an idle boy. And one of his instructors actually told this young man, you are the worst student that I have had in my 3 decades of teaching. One of the administrators in this young man's school said, you are not a contribution to society, and you are destined for failure. Like Darwin, and in fact at the same age, this young man also dropped out of school and never finished his secondary education. But like Darwin, he sought direction in his life. But fortunately, like Darwin, this young man found that direction. He found that motivation. He enrolled in college. This young man found his academic success, rose to the top of his classes. He entered honor societies. He ran the respect of his professors, his peers. He wound up on the dean's list, honor societies, and obtained the highest GPA possible. This young man found himself. This young man is Marcus Morisi, who is the recipient of our 2018 Biology Student of the Year Award. And I'm happy to say that unlike Darwin, Marcus wants to go to med school. Marcus has been accepted to University of Michigan. He's going to be beginning his pre-med studies there in the fall. And I'm sure that he's going to excel like he has here at GRCC. And I think we never, ever have to worry about Marcus becoming an idled man. If you could join me in welcoming and thanking Marcus.
Marcus, please come accept your award. This is all yours.
It's got my name.
I'll take the honor from Mr. Greg Forbes, but that is all yours, friend. Oh. Perfect. All yours?
Right, yeah. Next, we have the Physical Science Awards. I am glad to welcome Assistant Professor Amy Caderna to present all 3 of the Physical Sciences Student Awards. She's right there.
Hello, I'm Amy Caderna, Physical Sciences, and I'm here to present the Physical Sciences Student of the Year Awards for excellence in geology, physics, and chemistry. So the first award I would like to present is for excellence in physics to Sam Johnson. Sam? You can come on up here. Sam was nominated by Dr. Jared Johnson, who is Sam's Calculus Physics 1 and 2 professor. Dr. Johnson is not a man of many words, if you know him, but he did say Sam works very hard in his class, and he is a very considerate and helpful student to others. Sam started out his career not at GRCC in college. He started out at Ohio at a small university, and he was going to go into film editing. He decided to take a break and came to our school, and again, he found his home. Here at GRCC, he started taking calculus and physics classes, has now changed his career path, and is going to get a degree at Ferris in computer engineering. So along with taking all of those easy classes, he works as a math tutor here at GRCC and is very involved with his church. We would like to congratulate Sam for this award. There you go.
And a GRCC blanket, so you can take that. Good luck.
I forgot to introduce my assistant here, Dr. Groh. He's helping out today. So, all right. For the second award, I would like to present the Physical Sciences Student of the Year Award for Excellence in Chemistry to Christopher Clapp. Christopher came to us from Rockford High School, and he started GRCC not knowing what he wanted to do. He wasn't sure what direction or area or field program he wanted to go into. Then he took some chemistry classes. So then we got him. So now Chris was nominated by Dr. Tom Niles, who has worked with him in Organic Chemistry 1 and 2. Chris, let's see. He has his summer research internship set up at GVSU for chemistry. He has been accepted to both Michigan State and U of M. So he's deciding, I'm sure some of you could yell go green or go blue now to help him out from that. And after he gets his bachelor's, he plans to either go to med school or go to graduate school for medical research. We look forward to seeing his success in the future. Congratulations, Chris.
And appropriately enough, it's a beaker mug with caffeine molecule on the side.
All right.
Your coffee and your cranberry.
All right, great. Now I'd like to present the Physical Sciences Student of the Year Award for Excellence in Geology to Katie Schumann. Katie was nominated by Professor Tari Maddox, who is here with us in the back. Hello. Tari has said the following about Katie. Katie is going to be a great teacher. If one day she ever wonders how she became so successful, all she needs to do is look in the mirror. Katie was nominated for this award because of her perseverance in the face of adversity, her strong sense of personal responsibility for her academic growth. Katie also demonstrates strong leadership skills in the classroom combined with a positive and cheerful demeanor. She is a delight to work with in the classroom. Katie, congratulations.
Also a beaker mug and a blanket.
All right. Thank you.
No, you're totally fine, Grow. All right. Thank you so much for that. Our next presenter is Professor Kevin Dobrev. Sorry, he's our Music Department Program Director who will be presenting the Music Department Awards. So I'd love to invite him up to the stage so we can present those. Thank you so much.
Both are right. Dobrev. Good evening, scholars and leaders, faculty, President Pink, good evening, Dr. Chesley. Greetings, everyone. I'm joined at the podium by my colleagues, Brian Morris and Deborah DeWitt, and they will be helping me with the presentation of these awards. Dang, okay. The music department chooses to recognize 2 outstanding music students each year with the Emerging Music Student Academic Leadership Award and the Distinguished Music Student Academic Leadership Award. The criteria for these scholarships are as follows. Emerging Music Student Academic Leadership Award. This award is designed to recognize emerging student leaders in the music department. Nominees must have been involved with the music department for a minimum of 2 and no more than 3 semesters while contributing to the music department as leaders. This award recognizes current initiative and contributions as well as future potential. Nominees must be a current GRCC music major. They must be active and involved in a major ensemble, contribute to the success of the ensemble in ways that exceed musical performance, and seek to assist and encourage other students in their musical growth. They must also have distinguished themselves in academic performance, and they must have a minimum cumulative GPA of 3.0. The Distinguished Music Student Academic Leadership Award. This award is designed to recognize students with distinguished service or achievement that demonstrably benefits the music department at Grand Rapids Community College. Such distinguished service should be a pattern of exemplary service over the student's years at Grand Rapids Community College and exceed the normal duties of any positions he or she may hold, as in above and beyond the call of duty. Nominees should have at least 4 semesters or more of participation in a major ensemble. However, recording technology majors will meet the requirement with no less than 2 semesters. Nominees must be a current GRCC music major. They must demonstrate passion for musical performance and be active and enrolled in any GRCC ensemble. They must have distinguished themselves showing leadership as a music librarian, a tutor, a lab monitor, or in service learning and other possibilities not necessarily identified here. They must demonstrate intellectual curiosity and scholarship in the fields of music theory and musicology. And they should have distinguished themselves in academic performance by achieving a minimum cumulative GPA of 3.0. This year, the music faculty nominated 3 students for the Emerging Leadership Award. And when I call your names, would you please join me at the podium? They are Emma Benowitz, freshman violin major, Benjamin Farrell, sophomore guitar major, and Evelyn Timmis, freshman guitar major. Please, yes. Thank you. Please allow me to read some of the award winners' supportive comments from one of our music professors. This nominee is a very serious music student. The nominee is always prepared and has a high musical aptitude. The nominee has a very positive attitude and works well with the music professors and other students in the department. This nominee is a leader in the guitar ensemble as well. It is my honor to present this year's Emerging Music Students Academic Leadership Award to Mr. Ben Farrell. Please join me in congratulating Ben. Congratulations, Ben.
Thank you so much. There's my name on it.
Congratulations. And this is also for you. Don't lose it. Now, would you like to sit back down?
Yes, please.
There we go. Thank you. Thank you. This year, the music faculty nominated 2 students for the Distinguished Leadership Award. The nominees are Michaela Bramsey, a sophomore piano major, and Marley Slutak, sophomore violin major. Please join us at the podium. Both nominees will graduate this year and will transfer to Western Michigan University to major in music therapy. Both nominees are members of the Phi Theta Kappa International Honor Society. Please allow me to read some of the award winners' supportive comments from one of our music professors. This nominee is detail-oriented. She likes to make sure she does things right. She also tries to think outside the box. Her music theory projects are great examples of this. They are creative and show a great depth of understanding for the type of piece she is writing. They also are really well done. As a conductor in her conducting classes, this nominee has expressed that she is excelling learning all parts. These skills help her in terms of her work with Shades of Blue, where she leads the women's sectionals. I reached out to Jed Scott, and he says this regarding the nominee. In my short time working with the student in Shades of Blue, she has proven herself to be self-motivated, passionate, committed, and highly musical. She has used her piano skills to be a leader in sectionals and has led her section and the ensemble with her positive attitude and joyful personality. Something that I think is really interesting regarding this student is that when I asked her what leadership roles she took on here at GRCC, she had great things to say about her involvement as a secretary for NASO, the Native American Student Organization. She isn't Native American, but she thinks it's important to represent all the cultures that we have in our student body here at CC. Her boss is Native American, and she was talking about it and got involved through that relationship. I like that this student holds relationships high up on her priority list. This student is a tutor and says that she loves to help people with their homework, paid or not. She likes seeing people's work and helping them with it. Even though she has committed to music therapy, she is also thinking about the possibility of being a teacher. This student is very involved in GRCC in general, works at the business lab as a greeter, in the front desk, in the business department as a secretary's assistant, and as a tutor in the music department. The nominee also helps out with music department performance on the stage crew or handing out programs. It is my honor to present this year's Distinguished Music Student Academic Leadership Award to Michaela Bramsey. Please join me in congratulating Kayla. Congratulations, and congratulations to you. Ladies, thank you. Thank you very much.
So now it's my pleasure to announce the next presenter, Dr. Robert M. Hendershot, Associate Professor of History, who will be presenting the awards for the first, second, and third place winners of the Social Science Research Paper Competition. Is he here? Okay.
Good evening. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm Robert Hendershot. I'm a history professor in the social sciences department. Although after Denavvia Mojet's keynote, I feel like I should introduce myself as Bob Hendershot. I'm the former history professor of Denavvia Mojet. I think that'll be my claim to fame, I think, in the future. This evening, I'm here tonight to present the winners for my department's Research Paper Award, something that we do every year to promote and to reward excellence in the construction of the research paper, which is a worthy thing to promote and to reward because the research paper, perhaps more than any other kind of assignment in the social sciences, draws together all of the skills that we seek to cultivate and to hone over the course of an academic career. To create an effective and indeed award-winning research paper, the scholar must identify a question about how the world came to be this way, a historical question about how the world came to be as it is, a question that is important, that deserves academic attention, that deserves a worthy answer. And then they must conduct research, right? Many hours, days, nights, weekends, holidays, right, dedicated to the research process. And then, right, they must synthesize everything that they find, right? They must break down the data, and then they must present their analysis, right, in a powerful written way, right, where the logical sequence of their arguments translates to the mind of the reader, and it's convincing and effective. Skills that, when honed, serve you not just in your history or political science or geography classes or your sociology classes, but skills that serve you well in any professional career. And this year we had, once again, a record number of excellent submissions to the research paper competition. And so, in addition to their humble honorariums and to the plaques that we have, I think that it's appropriate that our one of the greatest rewards that our winners have is considerable bragging rights going forward into the future. And yes, out of a bunch of excellent submissions, we had to settle upon 3. This year's third place award, right, for a research paper produced for the History of Latin America class is entitled Social Injustice and the Deficiency of Public Housing in Mexico City by Ian Eisinga. This year's second place award, produced for the seminar on the history of American foreign relations, is a wonderful paper entitled The Masculine Muscle of American Diplomacy, Understanding Gendered Motives Behind the Incursion of Cambodia by Anna Reynolds. And the first place award, produced for the history of Russia and Eastern Europe, is the #1 paper, right, of the academic year, entitled Revolution from the Black Earth and Up, Russian Anarchism's Ideological Fissure with Marxist-Leninism in 1917 by Alex Allen. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I would now like to introduce Dr. Tina Hoxie, our Dean of Student Affairs, who will be presenting the awards for our athletics department. Tina will introduce each coach and take care of this. So without further ado, it's all yours, Tina.
Thank you, thank you. It is my pleasure tonight to present the athletic department awards, and I'd ask 3 of our outstanding head coaches to come forward. We have Mr. Chip Will, who is our head volleyball coach. We have David Glazier, who is our women's basketball coach. And then Luke Bokama is our men's head coach for our men's basketball team. And we have some outstanding athletes that we would like to recognize this evening. So I'll turn the microphone over to Chip to begin with our first with our Merrill Store Award.
First of all, I'd like to take the opportunity, since everyone's here, to thank everybody that made this a really special year in the athletic department. We had our first ever homecoming this year. We had our senior night out for the Grand Rapids Public School kids. And both events couldn't have been a more great success without your help, especially Student Life and all the work that they did that week coming in. So once again, from the bottom of our hearts, I've been here for 11 years, and I've never seen such camaraderie amongst all of the departments supporting those events. And it was a really neat week for both men's and women's basketball and volleyball. So thank you all for that. Once again, I'm presenting for the Merrill Store Student Athlete Award. And when it comes down to it, this award couldn't have gone to a better person. When you look at being a leader, and a lot of you in this room are, and I commend you for making the choice and the mature choice to choose Grand Rapids Community College, a place that a lot of us faculty and staff that have been here for a lot of years have put time and effort into to make this a truly special place that you create lifelong memories and relationships. And so I commend you all for for making that choice first and foremost. I'm presenting this award to Lauren Helson, who is a 2-year starting setter for us. And being a leader is a tough thing. You know, a lot of people say they want to be leaders. A lot of people say they want to make the right things. But being a leader is a daily decision. It's a daily choice that you make to not just talk the talk, but be able to walk the walk. And that's when people really will follow you, when you're making those daily tough choices to do the right thing, to put in the hard work. And that couldn't exemplify somebody more than Lauren, who had things going her way. She was a star volleyball player in high school, star track athlete, had everything going academically for her. She was a 4.0 student. And then her last high school track meet, before she's ready to graduate, she breaks her Liz Frank break, which is a bone on the top of your foot. And those of you that follow the NBA at all, that put Kevin Durant out for probably about 7 months. Lauren wasn't able to play. She wasn't able to walk. She wasn't able to do anything. She worked, though. And when things got tough for her and life knocked her down, she got up. She worked daily basis to get better, to be able to walk, to be able to play volleyball. And could have redshirted her freshman year, but chose to just keep working. Was able to play for about 3 weeks her freshman year because she knew we had a chance to win a national title, and she wanted to be a part of that. And we needed her to be able to do that. And the doctors called me and said she was in the 1%. 1 percentile to be able to come back that quick from that injury to be able to play. That's a daily choice that she put in to be able to be in that 1%. She has athletic genes that I will never have, so she's blessed with that. But she made that choice to do the right thing academically. She balances a 4.0 GPA. She was our team MVP on a team that was number 3 in the country. She's the kid that everybody voted for to be our team MVP because they respected what she put in on a daily basis. She didn't just say, follow me. She didn't just say, come, you know, I'll lead you guys, come do it. She did the hard work to be able to do that. I respect her on a daily basis of what she's able to do. She's a leader in our athletic program that prides itself in being one of the top athletic programs in the country, not only in Michigan, with the great leadership that we have. So present this award to Lauren Helson.
All right. Good evening. I want to echo everything Chip says. You know I see faces out here that I've seen around. We're still trying to get to know more people. I think once we have a shiny new building next year, we may see some more faces, which we're happy to have you. So when that's finished, make sure you come catch a game, see all the hard work that all these kids put in. In our program, we talk about unseen hours. I listened as all of you who have received awards so far have heard that or were described as putting in those hours that nobody sees. Weekends, holidays, when your friends are out doing things that they shouldn't be, that you think, maybe I should do that, but I've got this thing that drives me. The Female Athlete of the Year is such a person. She came from a high school program that just continues to produce high caliber kids, high caliber athletes. She wasn't a first option in high school, but she came here and worked. She came here and put in the unseen hours. And she has turned herself into an athlete who is going to have another 2 years to play while she finishes her education. But more so, she's a kid that changes a program. She's a kid that comes in and you think, if we didn't have this kid, where would we be? And I can't tell you that I've had sleepless nights knowing that this was Michaela's last year. So without further ado, Michaela Beld, your Female Athlete of the Year.
think they left me a little bit short on time, but I would like to echo Coach Glazier's echo of Chip in saying that the administration has been great in my 2 years here. There's a lot of staff in this room that I can think back in the last 2 years of specific instances where they went above and beyond to help a student athlete. I actually wrote mine down. Zach is going to be shocked. He hears a lot of do this better, do that different. I think he had a 30-point game with 8 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 turnovers, and the only thing he heard from me the whole game was, Zach, you got to take care of the ball. So he'll be a little bit happy here to hear some good things about himself. Zach is a tremendous athlete as well as a student, a perfect fit for the Down with Our Black Male Athlete of the Year award. First off, he currently has a 3.9 GPA, and he is set to get his associate's degree in pre-business. His performance in the classroom has been almost perfect. The first time he came and he turned in his progress report with an A-, that was our first serious conversation about things that needed to improve. As an athlete, he's not only one of our best players the last 2 years, but also our most improved player. He came to every practice, every single day, on time, ready to go, and he often stayed late, showed up early. He was a big supporter of the new shooting gun that we got. He gets up a lot of shots after practice, after we got that. He was a vocal leader, both during the games and in practice, but most importantly, he led by example. His attitude and work ethic are directly responsible for the success he has had on the court and in the classroom. As a 2-year captain, he is a true Iron Man. He has actually started 72 games straight the last 2 years. And more importantly than that, or more impressive, he's never missed a practice, never for being sick, nothing, which is absolutely amazing. As a captain in 2017, 16-17 and 17-18 seasons, he helped lead the team to back-to-back District 9 tournament championships, as well as a 6th and 8th place finish nationally. He was also voted 3rd team all-conference this season and named MVP of the 2017-18 District 9 tournament championship. After leading us to his 2nd championship, I knew that Zach was going to have a lot of options on the table moving forward. During our last home game, there was 6 different 4-year schools in attendance, all to see Zach. He currently has options to play for Davenport University, Calvin College, Goshen College, Trine University, and Rochester College, and several more are currently still recruiting him. His hard work and leadership have basically put him in a very good spot, and I'm excited for the opportunity that he will have moving forward, and he will certainly be missed. Please congratulate Zach with me one last time.
And I have the privilege of presenting the Gordon Huntsberger Award. This award is named after former head coach of our football team and athletic director. Huntsberger was also a member of the National Junior College Athletic Association Football Coach Hall of Fame and the Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame. He coached the football team for 28 years, beginning in 1956. He also served as the school's athletic director for 2 decades. The recipient is awarded based on their substantial contribution to the athletic department over their lifetime. The person selected this year, and most fitting, is someone that has dedicated their life to GRCC and the athletic program. Rick Vanderveen, would you come forward, please? Rick is a, turn around here, Rick. Everybody wants to see you. Rick is a Raider through and through. Beginning with his time as a student in 1976, Rick poured his whole heart into the Grand Rapids Community College. Even when Rick left GRCC to go to Aquinas and Western, he continued to take classes each semester to continue his student employment at GRCC. Throughout his time at GRCC, Rick has worked alongside 7 different athletic directors and has been a vital part of the athletic department for over 5 decades. Rick has worked and organized hundreds of athletic events in the field house, as well as assisted the athletic director in day-to-day operations. Without Rick's steadfast work ethic and dedication to GRCC, the athletic department and GRCC would not be where it is today. Rick, it is an honor, especially for me, to present this because you and I met so many years ago when I wasn't at the college, and there was another activities director, Joyce Hoffman, and I was so impressed because when we were at that conference together, Rick would bring like donuts and coffee to us right up to our ready to go. And I thought, who is this Rick Vanderveen? And you truly have been an amazing leader in the field house. I don't even want to begin to count the hours that this man has put in to make sure that athletic events, special events, commencement, we work hand in hand. He does all the work. I'm just there and he tells me what to do for commencement. And he'll make sure your commencement, for those of you that are in this room, is special this year. He's done an outstanding job. So it's really about your substantial and your outstanding contribution to the athletic department during your career here at GRCC, along with the students' lives. I know that you have influenced and changed, that we honor you tonight. Please give him a round of applause. Congratulations. Thank you.
Okay. That was one. Okay. All right. I'll just wait till everyone's seated. All right. All right. So now it's time to introduce Lori Kennett, Assistant Professor in the Exercise Science Department Head, to the stage to present the awards for the Exercise Science Department.
Hello. I'm here to announce 2 awards. Jerry, are you here? I don't think, there she is, okay. Jerry's here. Jerry is being recognized as our Wellness Student of the Year. She was very active in class, participating in discussions, and her instructor commented she is that student that every instructor wishes they had in their class. Beyond just taking a wellness course, Jerry participated in service learning, which was part of a component of the wellness class she took, Healthy Living. She was a standout in this service learning area where they went out to area elementary schools and taught nutrition, health, and wellness. Beyond our course, I think I saw you in a picture of the 5K run. Did you do the 5K run? Yes, good. And beyond just this course, Jerry has also been awarded excellence in service learning in the experiential learning department. So I would like to acknowledge Jerry with her work in the wellness class that she took. Thank you. I think you have an award for her. Thank you. The second student that we want to acknowledge is Brett Myers. You come on up, Brett. This award goes to the student who's actually majoring in the area of exercise science and pursuing a degree in the field. His nominator noted, Brett is always active in discussion in class, providing real-world examples and applying what we're learning. He's positive and encouraging to his classmates another instructor commented, beyond just earning an A in the course, it was his character that stood out. They noted he understands what leadership means, what good communication, how important good communication is, how to get things done successfully, and how to actually motivate his classmates. He was an awesome individual to have in this class. Outside of the classroom, you might notice Brett has a gigantic shiny ring on his hand. He was a member of 4 state championships, but he did not note that as one of his proudest moments. One of his proudest moments is serving as a coach to middle school athletes. He was able to take a middle school football team from 0-8 to 8-1, I believe, and he notes that as one of his proudest achievements outside of the classroom. Brett plans to transfer to Grand Valley to obtain a degree in physical education, and he is then going to pursue a graduate assistantship because his goal is ultimately to serve as a Division I college coach. In an advising meeting that I had with him recently, he said, I don't like people telling me what to do. I like telling other people what to do. I said, okay, then you're on the right track here with coaching. Maybe the other coaches could attest to that. He possesses strong leadership skills and a determined work ethic. His actions inside and outside of the classroom demonstrate the values that we value here at Grand Rapids Community College and in our department. So please help me acknowledge Brett and his achievement as Exercise Science Students of the Year.
All right, thank you so much. To wrap up our department awards, I would like to invite Nancy Forrest, our mathematics professor of our mathematics department, to come up and present the awards on behalf of her department. This is going to be the Outstanding Mathematics Students Award. Thank you so much.
Well, good evening. We have 3 winners this year of math awards. One student couldn't be with us this evening. I'm going to say William Palmer, in case at the last minute he could show up. I didn't want to be one. Okay, and so I think I'll mention, as long as I said his name already, William Palmer is actually receiving a Math Perseverance Award. He's had to overcome major obstacles as he works through his education, and he has overcome those obstacles with determination and courage. And he is currently taking Calculus 3 and is a tutor in our calculus tutoring lab. And in the fall, he's been accepted into the MSU College of Engineering. Okay, so he's come a long way. And I'll let him know. No, clap so I can tell him that, okay? Then I can say to him, you all clap for him, and of course, because I never tell a lie. Okay. Now, we also have another winner of a Math Perseverance Award, and that is Nareda Villarreal. And Nettie is an amazing woman. She's the first person in her family to attend college, and this semester, she's taking introductory algebra because it had been a while. Okay, I won't say how long, but it's been a while since she's had some math classes. And at the very beginning, she started to struggle. She immediately signed up for peer tutoring, has spent countless hours going to the math tutoring lab also to get help. She goes to class every time an hour early to be able to work with Jeannie Dauber, who is her instructor, and that's who nominated her, and then work with other students who come to class early as well. And she is doing incredibly well. Okay, she's got this, right? So she is a success story, and it's due to her perseverance and many, many talents that she has. She tries to get as much work done on campus as she can so that when she goes home in the evening, she can focus on her family, and she has 3 children. She will eventually transfer to Grand Valley State University, where she's going to pursue a degree in social work. Okay, so congratulations, Nettie. And then our last award this evening is for Jason Ross, and he is receiving the Outstanding Mathematics Student for 2017-2018. He was nominated by his Calc 3 professor. He took Calculus 3 in the fall, Professor Song Lee. He's currently taking discrete math, and in his nomination form, Professor Lee described Jason as being a model student, a model math student, always prepared, always paying special detail to all of his assignments, his projects, participating in class discussions, a leader in the groups that he works with, and willing and delighting in tackling the most difficult of problems. Okay, just an outstanding student that way. And I should mention that Jason is also a senior at Forest Hills Central High School. And in the fall, he will be going to the University of Michigan. And he's still kind of narrowing down his options, but considering majoring in mathematics or physics or computer science. Okay, so we'll see. And so congratulations for a job well done, Jason. Thank you.
All right, actually, we do have one more department award, and it's the Creative Dining Services Outstanding Student Scholarship Award, and Keaton Krupa is presenting that. So come on up, Keaton.
Good evening. My name is Keaton Krupa, and it's my pleasure to represent Creative Dining Services and our whole GRCC campus dining team as we honor one of our superior student employees, Nathan Spies. Joining us today is Nate's supervisor, Chef Kathleen Stife. And working in the food service and hospitality industry can be very demanding as a student. It involves working in stressful conditions, being around potential hazards, working in a very fast-paced environment, while juggling the added pressures of school. These requirements can make this line of work extremely hard at times. This year's great group of student employees is no exception, making it very difficult to select a recipient for this award. Nate stands out among the rest of his peers. He is always willing to take on extra tasks and learn new stations in the kitchen. He's always helping out where he's needed. One day, Nate had filled in for a longtime deli employee, and our supervisor for catering had realized the work that he had done and what a great job that he had put together all the sandwiches and made it in a really presentable way. And she just was amazed that he was able to do that. And Nate is a very reliable and has a fun personality. It makes him a great part of our team. Nate is currently enrolled in nursing school, and there's no doubt in my mind that his ability to learn very quickly and his positive attitude will make him succeed in schooling and in his career. Please help me congratulate Mr. Nathan Spies for receiving the $500 Creative Dining Services Outstanding Student Scholarship.
So now we're going to enter the last segment of the awards program, the Student Life Awards. And at this moment, I would like to recognize the other 3 individuals who served on our awards committee. Kathy Novinsky, Alliance of Professional Support Staff. Please stand. She's here. Oh, she just left. Okay. Great. Sheila Jones, Dean of Instructional Support. She's sick too? Okay. Okay. And Charisma Ramirez, student here at GRCC. And I know she's not here because she's at home. She's home. Okay. Thank you for taking the time to support our awards banquet. We wouldn't have been able to have this banquet without your support and assistance. We would like to ask that all the nominees stand up at their tables when their name is called. When the award recipient is announced, we ask that you come up to the podium to receive your award. At this time, Caitlin Carl, Vice President of Student Alliance, will be presenting the Jerry Benham Award for staff and faculty and the Benham Service and Civic Engagement Award.
The
The Jerry Benham Award is given annually to a staff or faculty member who is actively supporting student involvement and student development and acts as a mentor or role model for student leadership development. These award winners are advocates for students, encouraging them to express and act on their thoughts and ideas. Will the following staff and faculty rise and remain standing so the audience can acknowledge the entire group? Audience, please hold your applause until the last nominee is announced. Sarah Brooks, Aaron Busker, Shakita Clay, Simon Kittuck, Jermaine Reese, Keith St. Clair, Lene Selberg, Jennifer Smith, and Mariah Williams. Please help me in congratulating these nominees. Aaron Busker, sorry. Please come to the stage and receive your award. Aaron is passionate about working with students. Aaron spends nights and weekends with students working on the PTK projects, reports, and attends conferences with PTK students and assists them to the best of her ability. Erin is a selfless student advocate. GRCC and PTK are lucky to have someone as passionate, driven, and student-focused as Erin. Congratulations. Our next award is titled the Benham Service and Civic Engagement Award and is presented to a current student at Grand Rapids Community College who has been actively involved and has shown leadership in service and civic engagement initiatives. This student must also have a minimum cumulative GPA of 2.5 or higher. Will the following students please rise? Raydale Bonviel, Tessa Dirth, Montserrat Peritas Guzman, Constance Johnson, and Druin Talley. Please help me in congratulating these nominees. I can get it out. I would like to present this award and scholarship of $250 goes to Raydale Bonviel. Raydale is a natural leader. He is engaged with Alpha Beta Omega and the Woodrick Center, as well as many community initiatives. He has presented at several local schools. He has an organic way of influencing others by his genuine compassion and wisdom. Raydale is highly motivated to volunteer for his community.
Thank you so much, Caitlin. And we'll definitely get that award to the winner. He deserves it. I will now ask KZ Boningela, Vice President of Student Alliance, to come up and present the award for the Cedric and Sandy Ward Leadership Award. Thank you, KZ. The stage is all yours.
Hello, everyone, and good evening. The Cedric and Sandy Ward Leadership Award is presented to a current GRCC student who demonstrates leadership skills throughout the community and or college and must have a minimum cumulative GPA of 2.5 or higher. Will the following students please rise? Please hold your applause until the very end. Marquis Borisi, Theodore Biglow, Leslie Bose, Marisa Diaz, Autumn Flash, Fortine Kisile, Elia Lewis, Kael Menziski, Danielle Milring, Montserrat Paredes Guzman, Lena Sigurdatir, Druen Tali, Suzuki Shigemitsu. Please help me in congratulating these nominees.
This is the scholarship. So this goes with me.
All right. I would like to present this award and a scholarship of $1,000 to Marquis Borisi. Marquis Borisi has demonstrated outstanding leadership skills both at GRCC and in the community. Marquis serves on the College Action Project of 321 to enhance the student experience. He also serves as the Vice President for Phi Theta Kappa and Student Alliance. Marquis is an exceptional leader and is one of the most capable people I have ever had the opportunity to work with. Thank you.
Okay. Are you ready, Tina? Okay. So next, I would like to invite Tina Pelias, Vice President of Campus Activities Board, to the stage to present the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Award and the Brian Clout Campus Involvement Award.
The Martin Luther King Jr. Award is presented to a current student at GRCC who exemplifies the spirit of Martin Luther King Jr. through community involvement and campus service, seeking to bring change and to promote the philosophy of Martin Luther King Jr. Will the following students please rise to be acknowledged? Casey Buana Gala, Josue Casil, Manaseirant Pares de Guzman, Monica Rivera, and Eli Rogers. Please help me in congratulating these nominees. I would like to present this award and a scholarship of $500 to KZ Buonagela. KZ received 4 nominations for this award, and this is what some of his nominators had to say about him. KZ is the perfect example for someone who lives the dream of Dr. King had for all mankind. KZ is always the first to greet and make everyone feel welcome, no matter if he knows them or not. KZ strives to do the best and help others. KZ wants to make a difference in the world and has started to do that with those people right close by him and those at the college. KZ exemplifies the spirit of MLK by his acts of service and willingness to speak out on the behalf of those who may not have access. And he has a talent of sharing his story in others to educate others. Round of applause. The last individual leadership award is the Brian Collette Campus Involvement Award. The Brian Collette Campus Involvement Award is presented to a student who are active and involved in student activity and campus life. These students have established a cross-college interest in campus life and community service and have been helpful in promoting the overall experience through outstanding citizenship. The student must also have a minimum cumulative GPA of 2.75 or higher. Will the following students please stand? Leslie Boss, Morgan Brown, Kil Murdzinski, Malcolm Mucha, and Manasera Rent Paredes Guzman. Please help me in congratulating these nominees. I would like to present the award and a scholarship of $500 to Kel Murdinsky. I'm killing your name. Sorry.
I don't want to grab the award myself. Okay. I feel like that's a little.
There you go.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay. Read in his nomination, Kale has gone above and beyond to make sure that he is a part of every group. Kale is never off the clock. Kale brings many groups together and finds ways for us to fellowship. Another nominator stated, Kale is one of the most dedicated student leaders on campus and has almost exclusively dedicated his life to the well-being of students, the student experience, and the GRCC as a whole. Kale's passionate involvement on campus is inspiring to everyone around him. Congratulations, Kale. Okay, good.
My crew stole the script, so I'm just going to get started with this. Does that sound good? All right. All right, again, I'm Lina Blair. I'm the Director of Student Life and Conduct. I am super stoked this year. This is a new thing that we added to the awards. We want to recognize the strength and leadership that our groups have on campus. So registered student organizations could apply or be nominated for 3 different group awards this year. The first one that I'm going to present is the New Student Organization of the Year. So I'll get started with that. And I found my script, so that's good. This award recognizes an outstanding new student organization that's created and sustained an inclusive and creative group. This group will have set goals and achieved them successfully. This organization shows unity in their membership. Their programs and events are open to the campus community and are well publicized. And they have active participation in GRCC sponsored events such as Welcome Week, Raider Rally, Homecoming, and those kinds of things. I'd like to recognize the following nominees, so please stand if you're a part of any of the groups that I name. Board Gaming Club. All right. Yeah, Kale's just gonna stand the whole time. Native American Student Organization. The Collegiate Association for the Research of Principles. And the Association of Women in Science. Could you guys please give them a round of applause? This is so intense with the envelopes and everything. I love it. Talia nailed it. All right. Yeah, I'm hoping that won't be the case. And the winner for this year is the Native American Student Organization. So from the nomination, NASO isn't that big, but we're growing consistently. NASO reactivated last September with just 4 e-board members. NASO participated this last year with Raider Rally and Student Organization Day. They also hosted an event titled Rock Your Mocks, a Ghost Supper, and volunteered at the Gun Lake Tribe's Veteran Day Powwow. NASO also assisted in drafting the Indigenous Peoples Day proposal. They want the chance to help shepherd momentous piece of student government into play, widening the window into how we celebrate culture. Who wrote that nomination? You did me no favors. The executive board has worked together to recruit members by email, personal invites, working campus events, and social media. NASO has made leaps and bounds in its start as a student organization. And to start a new tradition, we'll be hanging plaques in our office, in the Student Life office, that recognize New Student Organization of the Year, and we'll add to the list. But you guys are the first. Congratulations. Cool. Good job. Yeah. Come on. Druin wants to take it home. All right, our next award is Event or Program of the Year. This award recognizes an organization or multiple organizations that work together to plan, implement, and promote a single project or event or series of events during the year. This award highlights collaboration within the organization and/or with other groups, departments, or community organizations. The event or project was well publicized and attended. I'd like to recognize the following nominees, so please stand if you're a part of any of the groups that I read off. Anime Club for their 2nd annual cosplay day. Black Africana Student Union for February's Black History Month. Phi Theta Kappa for the Project Honors in Action. And Standout for their drag show event this past fall. After I announce the winner, we'll invite the members of the organization to come forward, and if you could please give these folks a round of applause. I get to cheat because I have the plaque right in front of me. Phi Theta Kappa, could you come forward? Here you go, Morgan.
You are a Phi Theta Kappa. You get to be up here.
All right, so from their nomination, PTK Honor Society allows chapters to pick out specific topics prevalent in society and to develop an honors in action project. This year, the chapter decided it was important to explore the importance of suicide prevention, and in doing so, implement suicide prevention techniques across the college to benefit students. Over the course of the project, several hundreds of students and GRCC employees received QPR, so Question, Persuade, Refer, training, which is a program that provides assistance in identifying and approaching someone who is struggling with suicide ideation. The chapter believes that it's an important issue to the college and continues to provide support wherever needed by hosting additional awareness events. Thank you, PTK. Cool. You can take it, you can hold on to it for the night, or just until before you leave. Cool? And the last award of the night. All right, the Student Organization of the Year Award recognizes an outstanding student organization that has demonstrated unity within the group and has benefited the GRCC community in a significant way through programming, service, and inclusion of all students, and that they have unity in membership, which I mentioned. They actively recruit members, hold regular meetings, plan programs and events that are open to the campus community and are well publicized. I'd like to recognize the following nominees, so please stand if you're a part of any of the groups that I read. InterVarsity Christian Fellowship, Phi Theta Kappa, and Stand Out. And again, please congratulate these folks for being nominated. And the winner is Stand Out. Come on up. She has to give it back at the end of the night, just like the rest of them. All right. So from the nomination, Standout should receive the Best Student Organization of the Year because they're a really great group of students. They've come together to support and be there for each other. Essentially, for many of them, they've created a second family where they're free to be themselves and to express themselves while helping each other grow and be better versions of themselves. Being that this is the case, many of the students have created deep friendships that extend outside of club meetings. Standout has always been inclusive and welcomes students from diverse walks of life, whether they are LGBTQ or not. They've always made newcomers feel visible and welcome. Standout tabled a few times this year, delving out into the GRCC community and introducing themselves to the students here. They also organized an on-campus drag show last semester, which allowed them to introduce some LGBTQ culture to the GRCC community. They've brought in presenters to speak during standout meetings in an effort to better navigate GRCC, Grand Rapids, and LGBTQ life. After attending the MimbleTech, so MBLGTACC, it's a conference, the e-board presented on what they had learned in standout meetings, making sure the knowledge that they gleaned had a wider impact at GRCC. Please help me in congratulating Standout.
Thank you so much, Lina. Before we go right on to the next thing in our agenda, I just wanted to add in that this is the first year that we've had those new Student Organization Awards, or Student Organization Awards in general, and I feel as if they're a very valuable part of our college already, because without those type of recognition, how do we really know who's making an impact on campus? So, and now I would like to invite Dr. Bill Pink, President of GRCC, to please step up to the podium and leave us with some wonderful closing remarks. Thank you.
Do you want me to dismiss them after, or are you going to come back up?
Good. Thank you. Good evening. Good evening. You gotta stay awake now. We're almost done. I want to first of all start out by congratulating all of you who are not only winners, but nominees, faculty, staff, folks who are in this room who have a lot to do with making up what I call the GRCC family. So please give yourselves a round of applause. Also to Kale and Brianna, awesome job tonight. An awesome job in putting together a great, great event. Thank you. I'm not going to stay long. I was asked to kind of make closing remarks, and so I'll be brief, but I will want to call your attention to one of my favorite movies, a classic movie that is probably, in my mind, going down in the history books of some of the greatest cinema creations of all time. Of course, I'm talking about Medea's Family Reunion. You know you saw it. There's a scene in that movie where, if you have seen it, what the family is doing is that they are at the family reunion. And what's going on is that the matriarch of the family, I mean, this is the grandmother, the great-grandmother of the family. She is with her daughters and granddaughters, and she says to her daughters, I want to go see the family. And so they get this matriarch up, and they help walk her through the yard of the house. And as they go outside the house and into the yard, the family is in the yard. But here's what the family is doing. She looks over here, and she sees these guys who are like brothers and cousins. They're kind of shooting craps over on the side against the wall and about to fight each other because one losing, and she just kind of looks and goes, oh, I didn't want to see that about my family. So she walks further, and she sees these young ladies in shorts that are high. And, I mean, they are getting it on. I mean, they just dancing with these guys and everything, and it's, ooh, right? So she looks over there, and ooh, she kind of gives it one of these, and she keeps walking, and she sees some of the family kind of fighting over here and bickering over there, and she looks at her daughters, and she said, please, please gather everybody, bring them over to me. I need to talk to my family. And so she goes and sits on the porch of the house. And the whole family is told, come over because our great-grandmother needs to say something to you. And we're talking probably anywhere from 80 to 100 people gather in front of her. And she's sitting on the porch in this old rocking chair and on this property that was probably in the family for generations from dating back to slave days. The line she says in that movie was very significant. And it's the line I want you to think about tonight. She looked at her family, and here's the only thing she says in the movie. At this point, for the rest of the movie, she says, is this what we paid for? Is this what we paid for? Here's what she was saying, friends. She was looking at what she saw, and she was so disappointed. Her line was, there are so many people that have gone on before you as a family. And all those people who've gone on before you, they have paid prices. They have had blood, sweat, and tears. And they've done all that just for you. Is this what they paid for? And so tonight, as I was sitting watching all of you walk up, it made me feel good. Because I started thinking about people I know in this community who have the letters GRCC behind them because they were students at our college at one point or another. I think about people in this community who are superintendents of schools, large school districts who are GRCC alum. I think about people in this community who are vice presidents of organizations and companies who are GRCC alum. And I think about them and what they did at this institution, and I talk to them on occasions. And what is so cool about it is that I know that those are the people who have paid for what we see today in you. I think about a man who just last evening, a man who is a longtime supporter of this institution, who's an alum of GRCC, a man who's been in this community for years, who has given thousands of dollars to this institution and given so much of his time to this institution. Just last evening, Armin Omidian passed away. And what is so interesting is I think about that line when I think about Armin. Is this what he paid for? And the answer that I see tonight in front of me is, oh yes, you are indeed what those people paid for. Why? Because what you are doing at this institution and what you will do to change this world is indeed what those people paid for. And one day, you will be that person as well, that you look back at this institution, you look back at the people who will be here that time, and you can ask that same question, is that indeed what I paid for? When I went through all of what I did as a student, as a leader on this campus, that is what it's all about, friends. You go ahead with your progress in education, in your work, when you have your family. You go on and you do the best you can, and you represent not only you represent your family, you represent this institution. Because indeed, because someone else paid, you get to reap those benefits, and one day, someone will reap the benefits of the foundation you are laying today. Congratulations. We are so proud of you. We are so happy to call you GRCC family. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, President Pink. Let's get a final round of applause for all of the award recipients, all of the nominees, all of the staff, faculty, administration. We can't thank everyone enough for coming out to this banquet this year, so thank you. This is the ending marks. This is the last thing I have to say to you, so I just want to take the time to say, please feel free to take group photos. Isabel is our dedicated photographer. Her hand is up on the side. She will be available to take photos of everyone who would like a picture. And of course, before any of the students leave, I really, really want a giant group photo of students. We had that last year. I really want to do it again. Yeah, we should definitely do that first. And thank you. That is it. You're set.